Hey everybody, today we're going to make a 2-ingredient biscuit, but I want us to talk about biscuits for just a minute. I have my ingredients out, but I want to talk about biscuits because in my opinion, there is no reason why someone in every household can't learn to make biscuits. There are so many different kinds of biscuits to make. And I will be the first to tell you that the homemade buttermilk biscuit is probably my favorite and probably one of the most popular in our area where we live. We grew up on them, and there's so many ways to make those. And you can see in my cookbook over here, I have a picture at the end of my cookbook with some life lessons on the opposite page, and I'm not trying to sell my cookbook. I do have a few left. If anyone wants to buy some, then you're welcome to do that. But I will tell you that there are other kinds of biscuits that can be made. There are buttermilk biscuits, there are sour cream biscuits, there are cheese biscuits, there are cinnamon biscuits or biscuits with cinnamon and sugar glaze. There are biscuits where you can put herbs in them. You can make sausage biscuits. Just so many different ways to make them. And so you can roll them out and cut them with a biscuit cutter. You can roll them out with your hand like my mama taught me to do. Or you can drop them. You can make your biscuit dough a little bit thinner. That's the difference in rolled or cut biscuits and drop biscuits. You just add a little bit more liquid and your dough is a little bit softer, and you can just drop them with a spoon. So in my opinion, if you want to learn to make biscuits, you can certainly learn to make biscuits. Pick out the one that you want to work on, that you want to try, and I just want to encourage you to do that because there are so many different types and so many different ways of doing it. But today we're going to make a 2-ingredient biscuit, and I'm going to be using self-rising flour, and of course White Lily is my preferred flour, self-rising, and then I'm going to be using plain Greek yogurt. That's right, plain Greek yogurt, and I'm not going to be using any shortening. This biscuit is somewhere between a yeast roll and a biscuit. That's what the texture is going to be. I've already made some. Doug and I both love them. So see, we've learned another way to make biscuits. Buttermilk biscuits are great with certain foods, especially for breakfast with sausage and syrup and jellies and jams and that sort of thing, or with just a good old southern meal with some fried chicken or maybe some cube steak, cream potatoes and gravy. But sometimes you want a different kind of biscuit or a different texture. So I'm going to bring you in and we will get started, and I'll show you how to make this new to me 2-ingredient biscuit using self-rising flour and plain Greek yogurt. Let's get busy and do it. Okay, I have our ingredients measured out, and we're starting out with 1 1/2 cups of self-rising flour. I sifted my flour and then I measured it. So 1 1/2 cups of self-rising flour. And again, my preferred flour is White Lily self-rising flour. To that, I'm adding 1 cup of Greek yogurt. Now this is plain Greek yogurt. This is I took this straight out of the refrigerator. It's cold, and we want to get it all out of this measuring cup because we're going to need it all to make our biscuits. So we'll set that aside. And now all that we have to do is mix our flour and our yogurt. This is going to be thick, so don't be alarmed. You just mix it. Just keep mixing it. In fact, it's going to kind of look like cookie dough, but you just want to incorporate that yogurt with your flour. And I'm slinging it about. but I like to use a spatula or a spoon. I guess you could use your hands if you want to, but my point in making these biscuits is that you do not have to use your hands in the dough when you're first mixing it up. Now I'll use my hands in a few minutes to form the biscuits, but right now I'm just mixing the, and I'm going to swap off and get this little spoon here. I'm just mixing the flour with the yogurt. And because this is cold, it's going to take a minute to incorporate it all together. So you just keep mixing it. And again, this is going to, the texture of this biscuit is going to be somewhat like a roll. It's going to be a blend or a cross between a biscuit and a roll. So you just keep mixing. Don't give up on me. Don't go anywhere now, because this is going to be so good. See how that comes together? For those of you who might have left me, you gave up. You said, well, what is she doing? But see how that forms into dough? Look, you just have to be patient and keep working it. So now we have that mixed together. Now I'm just going to set this aside, and I'm going to get a little flour here and put on our little pad that I have here. Just going to spread this out a little bit, and I'm going to transfer our dough onto this little mat that I have here. I have a pan here. You can use your regular skillet or baking pan, whatever you use to bake your regular biscuits in, you can use it. And I've sprayed my pan. So now I'm just going to lightly put a little bit of flour. We don't want a lot. And I'm just going to work this up about just a little bit, not much. Just going to kind of fold it over, just like that. And then I'm just going to kind of form mine into kind of like a little roll, because I'm going to pinch it off and make our biscuits. See how that is? It's really, honestly, it's kind of like cookie dough. So I'm going to put some flour on my hands, and now I'm just going to pinch off. See, look at that. I'm just going to roll it in my hand, just like that. And I'm going to place it on the baking pan. You don't want to put too much flour, but you can put a little bit of flour. Just going to roll this and place it on the pan. Do you notice that every time that I take a little bit off, I kind of put flour on the end of it? I'll get a little bit more so I can show you. And you want to keep your hands floured, but just kind of do it like that and then pinch it off. Now all of my biscuits won't be the same size because I'm rolling these. If I were cutting them, and you can cut these, if you want to cut these, just go ahead and cut them, but I need a little bit more in that one. I'll make that one a little bit bigger. So I've preheated our oven to 400 degrees, and I'm just shaping this again. And I'm just continuing to roll these biscuits out. You can make them as large as you want to, or you can make them as small as you want to. When I get finished with this, I'm going to get some butter. This one's a little bit, I'll just go ahead and make it larger and make them all about the same size. And we'll have 8 biscuits. How about that? Okay, so here are our biscuits. So now I'm going to melt some butter, and we'll put some butter on top of these. So I'll be right back. Okay, I melted some butter in this little dish here, and I have this little brush, and I'm just going to brush some butter on our biscuits. Aren't they pretty? Look at them. I'm just really proud of these. These will be kind of brown on the bottom. That butter will kind of seep under there, but I'm just putting some butter on each one. And we can also put butter on these when we take them out of the oven. We can do both. So now let's pop them in the oven on 400 degrees, and we'll bake them, I believe, for about 30 minutes. Okay, y'all, our 2 ingredient biscuits are done. They've just come out of the oven. Look how beautiful these are. Oh my goodness, they're hot. Look at there, how brown they are. You don't have to brown them this much if you don't want to. Those are hot. But I cooked mine about 20 minutes. So now I'm just gonna open up. Ooh, that's hot. Gracious, gracious, that's hot. I'll open it up if I can and show you. See how that is? Oh, it just, I need to let it cool for a minute. But I'm gonna do my best without getting burned. That is really hot. Just gonna open it up. Look at that. Yum, look. See the steam coming off of it? Oh my goodness, that looks so good. I'm gonna put some more butter on the, well, actually, I'm going to put some butter on the inside of this one because I'm going to put me some preserves on it. I'm going to eat it. But you can put butter on the top of the other ones, just like this. You can serve it straight from this little baking pan. You can put it on a platter. You can put it in a bread dish. But look at that. Oh, yum. Y'all, you have to make some of these 2 ingredient biscuits. It's so easy, it's so delightful, and it's so good. Okay, so that's how you make 2 ingredient biscuits that taste like rolls. They are going to be so, so delicious. Look how pretty they are. I hope you'll try some. So now let's really taste. Mmm. Mmm. I love the taste of this. It's really, really good. Also, these warm up really well. So any that you might have left over, put them in the refrigerator, pop them in the microwave or the oven, and warm them up. And they'll be so, so good. Thank you for watching today. I'll see you again really, really soon.